Hey everybody, we're back here live at the Next One Arena for round 3 of Pro League, beginning right now. My name is Valdez, joined with me is Moonblade. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Valdez. I'm so excited for this round and for the starting match we have today. KT up against Jinair. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, look at that new face there. We got Super on the team now. He has joined as of recent times.
Yeah, I'm so happy we've seen him finally hit a good team because he's been doing so well in the individual leagues. Finally made it. I'm so happy for him.
Yep. Here's Jinair rocking their strong lineup as always. Our first matchup today, guys, is going to be Flash versus Cure, starting things off with the TVT.
Indeed, Valdez. I cannot wait. TVT with Flash and Cure. They have a bit of recent history as well in the Catch the Cup. We'll get into that in due time when the players start setting up.
Everybody getting together, getting ready for this game. Everybody's really excited and happy. You can feel the energy in the studio. Of course, a lot of people coming down as always. And both teams, especially KT, looking like they're ready to get into this one. Really liking the energy today.
Yeah, brand new season, brand new round. These teams got a lot to share. Both these teams did very well in the last playoff as well. They both made it into the playoffs and they had a good showing. So they're pretty safe when it comes to points for the end of the year, but they've got to keep doing well at this point.
Yeah, especially Jinair. Well, I guess actually KT as well. Both these teams, making the playoffs both times, but no first place finishes. Trying to just get up there, try to get as many points as possible, because especially when we go to the final rounds, you want to get the best seed as possible, want to get as many points as possible. So really looking forward to see what they can throw into these later rounds. As we have reached the halfway points here at Pro League, there's not as much time as there was. Time begins to run out for some of these teams.
Yeah, you definitely don't have as much leeway anymore, much less room for failure and mistakes. They got to bring out their A game every time. They got to make the right choices when it comes to the right maps. And from there, they got to take these points.
So guys, I'm here for the viewpoints, and actually there's a head coach interview, so I'll let you guys read the CG or chime in with me while I read off.
Well,
here's the rankings here.
Here are the accumulate rankings coming up on screen. CJ Antis, they are in first so far because I think getting first place in the second round here and also winning gave them a big boost to their points. SK Telecom T1, also the other team, they won round number 1. So, of course, they do have that extra boost in points. The closest team after them is Jinair Green Wings at 142. Then you saw down there
Bit of a tie with KT and the other team. They got some work to do this round, or they could be in a lot of trouble.
Spenu and KT have the same points, 91. And, of course, Hero up here on top still. He won't be playing today, but we will have Stats and Rogue and Maru. Tons of big names coming out here today, trying to increase.
Cure. Yeah, we got a lot of good players coming out today in that top 10.
Whoa. This is pretty crazy. I like the CG, though. CJ, they moved from second place to first place after going from round 1 to round 2. Spenu had the biggest drop, I think. Of course, former StarTale.
Yeah, they hit rock bottom in round 2. They didn't get many points at all. Quite surprising. Though I think they've kind of been reinvigorated by their new sponsor, their new team name. They should be coming into this very strong.
Bringing in a bunch of players to play for their team, especially for Pro League. So round 1, round 2. I guess this is the enter ratio, like the amount of times specific. Yeah.
That must
be the amount of times like the specific races came out. So Protoss increased by 2% and Terran decreased by 2. Zerg stayed the same.
Indeed, Valdez. And here's the win number and ratio for each race. So.
And this is the number of wins, and actually number of wins for each race. I think that's for like round 1 and round 2. So that's 32 wins for the blue race, I think.
Okay. Interesting little CG there.
Yeah.
But of course, coming into round 3, we are going to change up our map pool a little bit. King Sejong Station, Overgrowth, and Merry-Go-Round. They've been with us for a long time, but unfortunately, you got to say goodbye at some point.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad. We're going to keep things interesting here. Get the new ladder maps in Echo, Coda, and Cactus Valley. Yeah, it should make for some pretty interesting matches. Yeah. We did see them a lot in the Kesba Cup recently as well.
It's going to be pretty cool. And look at this. In players are Super and Speed, and Action has left KT.
Rip Action.
Yeah. He was their best actor.
He was the
not
actor.
Their best player, though.
No, we never really got to see him at all, apart from the acting. So it makes sense that he might want to leave. Kind of surprised Speed has joined KT. We haven't really seen much success from this player in any individual league. Super, though, fantastic player. So surprised he wasn't on a team for the longest time.
Huge pickup for them.
Fantastic.
He has so much potential, but he just hasn't been able to channel it. I think on KT he's found a great home, and he's going to have great games in the future for us. Check joining Jin Air Green Wings. Adios says adios.
I was going to say that. Yeah, what a suiting name for a player leaving the team. We never saw Adios either.
Here we go. We have the viewpoints here. KT submitted the same entry for the 7th time, 5 consecutive same entry, I think, with containing Flash, right? And there's a rematch. Zest versus SOS from round 2 playoffs, and Life versus Rogue from round 2 regular season, and Stats versus Maru, Neighbor, Star League. And for opponent workers in 2015, Jin Air is in lead with 2-0 to KT.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
I love these viewpoints, by the way. Like, I wish they just give it to us in the card and we could just talk about it.
I love reading this.
I love reading it too.
I love showing off my English team.
It looks like we may be getting into these coach interviews here.
Right. So I'm here with Hyungkyung, and we're going to be doing an interview with the head coaches. And here we go with KT Rollsters head coach 도경 Kang and Jin Air Green Wings Jiun Cha.
네, 프로리그에 또 새롭게 합류한 이영경
So here we
씨의
go.
진행을
We
잘
have both
들어봤고요.
head coaches
두
on
팀
same
감독님들께
page.
궁금한 점이 있습니다.
on
먼저
same,
강동현
screen.
감독에게 궁금한 점이 있는데요. 사실 진 에어 그린스와 상당히 자주 만나고 있습니다. 2라운드
KT and
플레이오프
Jin
때
Air
경기에
have been
만난 적이
meeting
있는데
each other
오늘
really
경기 치르는
frequently
소감에
these
대해서
days. Let's see how he feels at this moment.
저희가 이제 프로리그를 하면서 진에어한테만
While we were doing Pro League, we've lost a lot against Jin Air during regular season. So we have the revenge ready for you guys. But on the other hand,
반가우신가요?
I think he's more than welcome to meet KT Rollster in Pro League. He says, "Oh, it's not welcoming at all, but you know."
만날 때마다 자꾸 선수들이 한 명씩 추가되더라고요.
But every time we meet, we get a new player added to the roster. So
점점 힘들어지는 것 같아요.
I think it's getting harder for us to go against KT Rollster each time.
가장 경계해야 될 선수가 어떤 선수라고 보십니까?
See who he's scared of the most in KT Rollster for Jin Air Green Wings.
다 비슷한가요?
There's none, I guess. There's none. He says, yeah, no, I don't know. You know, KT has all powerful, strong players. So I just can't pick one. I think he's safely just going around that question right now. He says everyone does well, but his face says no. And we are still worried about the SOS. And as a head coach, let's see how he feels about SOS. He's on that roller coaster. He hasn't been doing so well recently. He says SOS is the same as last year. He's just the same as last year, doing well. When he was doing well and he wasn't doing well, he's the same in condition. But just, you know, he hasn't been able to show good results in broadcasting matches, and it's not working out. But in round 3, I'm sure that SOS will be able to pull it off because he's prepared a lot for Pro League round 3. So I'm not really worried about him.
좋은 경기 부탁드립니다. 네, 저는 강도경
And now back to head coach Kang from KT Rollster.
선수가 어쨌든 KT 롤스터에 있어서 굉장히 좀 부담스러운.
Well, Maru is still a strong card for KT Rollster going against KT Rollster.
저는 이제 지난 최종 포스트 시즌에 조성주 선수가 6경기에 나와서 경기를 못 치르고 저희가 이겼거든요.
Well, we won at the last final playoffs when Maru was in 6th set and when we won. So I think that's why he put Maru in the 4th set, and we will win with 3-0 tonight. You guys don't even need to see Maru, and the casters are asking about action right now. Well, KT Rollster filled that spot with a Terran and a Protoss not observed. Well, Super was a player that I was looking at, and when he was posted, we were able to get him into our team. And we have 4 Protosses in 10 out of 10 players, and I think any many race players can be 4 players, but still Protoss is really strong right now at the moment. That's why we took in
팬분들이
Protoss.
워낙 프로토스가
which is super.
강팀이라 서성민 선수의 출전 기회가 쉽지 않을 것이다라고
But you know, still KT does have a really good Protoss lineup. Stats, Zest. I'm guessing I'm guessing that Super won't be able to come out a lot, but Coach Chong also points out that he's not really worried about Super not coming out on Pro League, but we will have the best entry. We will try to have the best results ever. So please cheer for us. And this was both head coaches from KT Rolster and Jenner Greenwings, and this was me awkwardly trying to interpret their faces. And
Good job, Sojung.
So
We
I'll see you
enjoyed
guys
it.
later.
Thank you,
Thanks, Sojung,
Sojung.
for that translation, as always. KT Rolster versus Jenner Greenwings. Not a single sideways arrow or downwards arrow here. Every single player here is playing great these days,
They're going
especially in
straight
Pro
up.
League.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting with Flash versus Cure. Very exciting TVD on Deadwing. I feel like we're going to have a good chance to see some mech play, probably from Flash coming into this. We'll get a little bit deeper into that matchup then as the list goes down. Zest versus SOS, another exciting one.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one.
Yeah.
Zest has tried his own tricks sometimes, specifically against Creator. I remember him doing double storm drops and it not working out, but SOS also a guy who loves to be tricky. Hiding bases very often these days.
Well, let's see him try that on Vani. That's not going to happen, man. He's going to get caught
We were
out.
talking about this before the cast. Actually, I'm like, oh, I want to switch my prediction to
Yeah.
Zest.
Well, like, what gimmick does SOS have today for Zest is what I want to know. And I think Zest's going to be prepared for a lot of stuff. He's going to be scouting very well in that matchup.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, like you said, not really hard to do on that map. I'm also really excited to get the rematch of Stats versus Maru. Can Stats bring it back? I don't know. Maru right now, I think a lot of people would say probably the strongest player in the world right now.
That's right. But Stats, I dare say, is probably the ace player on KT.
Yeah, he's become that.
He's just fantastic in this kind of style of match. This best of one prep. Like, you got a whole week to prepare for this one game, and he just does it so well every time. He showed it in the playoffs as well, almost all killing a team. If not all killing a team, he might have actually just done it. I can't remember exactly. He at least killed 3.
Yeah, we cast a lot of StarCraft.
We've been casting way too much over the last few weeks. And don't forget,
been fun, though.
Yeah, don't forget Live versus Rogue Valdez.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Yummy.
ZVZ, we've been seeing
Delicious.
so much ZVZ, especially in the Kespa Cup.
Yeah, I mean, three of the top 4 were Zerg. And, ooh, look at this. Wolf.
Wolf, what are you doing? What are you eating over there in Japan?
Yeah, he's making
man.
He's making some mistakes, eating the wrong ramen, I think. As he's going to be going for Cure. And, well, the one thing you got to look at when you look at this match is that Flash did 2-0 Cure in the Kespa Cup recently.
Yeah, that's a big result.
2-0 in a Kespa Cup. You know, that was only a week ago, or maybe like 2 weeks ago at most. Like, I'm not sure if he was in the playoffs, but he was in like the qualifier for it. So maybe 1 extra week on that. Still says a lot about the players going into this match. Flash, he's on a very comfortable map for his style. Deadwing, Mech.
Yeah.
God.
It all lines up for this guy, basically. Even the results you were talking about going against a specific player. He also is a guy that loves to get energy from the crowd, especially when a lot of his fans are here. And starting round 3 of Pro League, I think he's going to be in a great spot to do well today, just be in a good mindset.
Yeah, he gets to turn over a new leaf today.
Yes.
You know, it's a new round. It's like, okay, I'm going to go into it. I'm starting off with my team. Can he build the momentum today, or is he going to have a bit of a flop? You know, it's very hit and miss with Flash these days. He's not consistent, that's for sure.
Very true. I like the little bit of extra stats we get there on the side.
That was cute.
Turning that leaf to the second page of the stats book.
That's right, the leaf book that we have here at the SPL2015 Pro League. Yeah.
Here's Kerry. He's got the best song.
Seasons by Dragon Force. Yes.
Great song. That drum solo, man.
Oh, that gets
me so pumped.
That's right.
8-3 in Pro League, doing very well. That's one thing you can't really argue with. Kerry's doing much better here in Pro League compared to Flash overall.
That is true. That is very true. One of the most solid players. One of that 4-player lineup that Jinera are always throwing out. He does his best work against Zerg, but TVT is not too bad. You know, he's only played 2 games, won 1, lost 1. And let's see what he can do today against someone like Flash.
Yeah, big game here. They're putting him out in the first spot to try to get ahead, get that momentum in Pro League. That is always so important, especially when you're playing with a lot of players on your team. You got to put them in a good position, a good place to be in their mind. And guys, we're about to start game number 1 of round 3 here. Are you excited, Moonblade?
I'm so excited, Valdez. Let's get the game started.
Let's do it, man. Going into Deadwing, Flash versus Cure. Let's do it. Down here in the bottom right, in the red, our Terran player from KT Rolster. He is Flash.
Ooh.
The GG girls are back.
Oh, no, it's not a GG girl.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Up here in the top right, we have Cure. They only hired 2 this time.
Huh?
There's only 1 there. Usually they're in pairs, man.
Is this another GG girl? One just like writes a very small message, the other one writes an essay.
Yeah, that's...
I don't think this is a
Use
GG
your
girl,
Korean, Valdez. You got 3 more seconds.
Something about starting from today, round 3, a new team, new maps. Starting every week, Monday and Tuesday, 6:30. It was kind of like an advertisement for Pro League.
An advertisement. Wow.
Well, thanks to that guy.
Yeah, I guess that helps.
Yeah.
Look at this. Gas first in the bottom right for Flash. That's a bit unexpected, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever this guy plays, you just expect it's going to be like some insanely greedy build. Even like a CC first. Probably not in this matchup, but most others.
But also because of the map, you know. Usually, you think about maps that you might do gas first on, you think maybe Vonnie Research Station, go for a bit of a rush down, you know, go for that backdoor gaze. Or maybe like merry-go-round. It's not in the pool anymore, but it's a time where you would do it.
Yeah, exactly.
A map, rather.
Yeah.
But here on this gigantic map, decides to go for gas first. Let's see what he has planned.
Yeah. Clearly a lot of aggression. And we did see Cure going for, you know, more of the standard, you know, later barracks and a later refinery after that. Just being a...
You're like 15 gas, 15 pool.
I almost said there. Like, you just went for that 15 barracks into 15 gas. I'm like, that's not Zerg, man. It's Terran. It's completely different.
We've been casting a lot of Zerg these days.
It's been fantastic.
Everybody was talking about, even the KT coach was like, oh, you know, Protoss is strong these days. And I don't know if you can really argue with that. I mean, it does seem like, especially in the PvZ matchup, Zergs are having a bit of trouble losing the Swarm host. But, I mean, results do have, you know, a voice of their own. We did have 3 Zergs do make it to the round 4 of Kespa Cup. But at the same time, those are all great players.
I like to think, yeah, they're exceptional players, which is also something you just can't forget. I don't know if that's a GG girl.
I think that is.
She's pretty, but I don't know if it's GG pretty.
Is it GG pretty?
I'm not sure.
Or just like first. GL? Just good luck, not good game?
Sure. Let's go with that. Reaper, for starters, from Flash. But it looks like Cure is going to get a scout off of everything that's going on. He sees the factory timing more than anything else. He goes, okay, it was gas first. He's going to be aggressive. I have to be careful here. I cannot be caught out.
Sees the second gas, too. I mean, just knowing the timing of that, he has to assume with that factory coming up that he already has 1 gas. Oh, look at that SCV. Getting aggressive, spanking that Reaper.
He's trying to buy a little bit more time. And oh,
Flash.
Big Flash fan.
From USA.
From USA.
Welcome to the studio, guys. Glad to have you.
They can't hear us, Valdez.
I think they could.
No, maybe.
I saw them getting headsets earlier.
Oh, really?
Okay. I think so. Okay. Maybe.
And it looks like we're going to see Reactor Hellions for Cure. He's going to get for that faster CC. Obviously, with more mineral income, delayed that gas a little bit more. Didn't go for gas first, obviously, so he can afford it. And Flash, looks like he's going for very quick Banshees.
It's going to be the idea here, just heavy aggression, trying to get into the face of Cure, knock him down while Cure does the opposite, go for that economy here.
It's very interesting, too, because, you know, Flash is not the kind of player to go for this kind of aggression early on. Yeah. He's the one that plays greedy and is the one defending.
Maybe trying to mix it up here a bit. And goes up the ramp, tries to poke at those Marines, but the 2 Hellions come by. And he says, oh, I got to wait here for my Banshee, it looks like.
Good sort of concave at the top of the ramp. There's no chance Flash is going to get up there just yet. Maybe when the Banshee comes or this extra Hellion, he might have a chance. But 4 Hellions now out for Cure.
Yeah. Great timing on this engineering bay, let me say. I mean, he got in there, he saw everything he needed to see. Cure did early on with that SCV, so he knows exactly when he needs to put that up and get some missile turrets up.
Yeah, even a Viking to come out. So he's going to completely deflect this Banshee when it comes across the map. Flash gonna have a hard time finding any real damage. So long as we see a turret come down, there we go.
Well, starts one. Let's see if he makes any more just to be safe. You know, he will have a decently low count of Marines, just 2. But of course, he did mention that Viking's going to pop out in pretty good timing here. But it looks like Flash is going to back off, just get his own CC down there on the low ground.
Yeah, he kind of just accepts that he's not going to do any damage just yet. Not even containing for now. His Banshee's going to come up and might push the front, maybe try and contain Kira just a little bit longer because there's no real anti-air besides that Banshee. And if Cloak comes down, there's just no chance of killing it unless he's near a turret or until this Raven has come out.
Yeah. Look at this. Kira is just ultra safe.
Oh, he's going mech as well. I like this. Now, wouldn't it be fun if we saw a mech versus mech? And I think we will see that because both sides are going for a double factory right now.
Looks like it.
Fantastic start to the day.
We're going to have a fun game here, especially if vertical spawns. Going to see a lot of positioning going on here.
Yeah, aggressive sort of mech play, I think. Both of them will probably pretty easily go up to 4 bases if they're just going to play this kind of passive game. Wouldn't be too surprised if it is going to be that mech versus mech style. Ooh, Banshee finding a way in.
Second Banshee coming through. The other one was just for bait. You got to make it work sometimes when there is just so much to defend in the main.
Going to go down now, though. Going to try and sack it just for as many SCVs as he can get.
Not bad, actually. 6 kills in total.
Yeah,
this Banshee even getting some kills over at the natural.
And Flash, you know, he does have that SCV lead currently. Still doing fantastic, you know, with that command center at the natural just a little bit later. Yeah. But he made up for it with those early Banshees.
Look at what Flash is doing. He's actually going triple Hellion with Blue Flame, and Cure is getting Blue Flame at the same time.
Yeah, we're going to see a Hellion wall right now.
Oh, boy.
It's going to get crazy, but it's going to, I think it might even come down to how many Vikings the players have. We do see Reactor on the starport for Cure now. So he's going to be pumping out a lot of Vikings. Same time, though, Flash has started his own currently.
We're seeing very similar builds from both these quote-unquote meching Terrans.
Yeah, different opening, but they kind of ended up in the same place. It looks like Flash has got the jump on, forcing out that shot with the mine.
Forcing Kier to go back home. Both players even getting a Raven now. Flash still does have those Banshees on the map, or at least one is still alive. Maybe coming through for another pass towards the main.
This could be an opportunity for Flash to come in there and do some real damage. Going to try and force the air out at least for Cure to be out of position for these Hellions to come up and maybe try to do some damage. He can land these Vikings if everything's out of position.
Flash is going to engage this. Cure, though, at this moment in time, he has more Vikings here. He does have that air lead, but Flash does have the Blue Flame. And he tests there. He sees that Cure's isn't done yet, but he's not going to commit to it yet. And so Cure will get his own Blue Flame.
Same time, Flash in the main base doing some damage with the SCVs. But I think Flash may have showed his hand a little too early when it came to that ramp.
Oh, this is really nice. He's actually forcing some units back here for Cure to deal with this Banshee, and at the same time protecting it with his own air units. But now Cure, he comes down the ramp. He thinks he has enough. He's got his own Blue Flame.
Oh, I think he might just do so. Nice concave from Flash, though, but there's just not enough units left over.
Big lineup.
Oh, that made up for everything.
The Vikings land, too. A lot of them are back here in the main. 10 SCVs are down, 11 and 12. Cure's losing so much.
He's falling apart. Flash, he may have even found his way in. Look at this Banshee at the back of that main base has 14 kills currently.
That's unbelievable.
He might even cancel this third base. With Vikings to tank third, he could find the damage. Gonna retreat for now there.
Yeah. Flash, the first to begin, the first tank. He starts his own third base. I think he feels like he's done enough damage here that he can just safely back off, get his own third base at an equal time.
Yep.
And then just go for a follow-up attack a little bit later on in the game.
Absolutely. Look at the harvester counts, 36 to 47 in Flash's favor. He is so far ahead in economy at this point. He's just going to make the right composition so he can come back and siege. So he's adding the 2 extra gases in his natural. He's making the tanks now, but still making Hellions. He's got to be careful of any kind of counterattack like this. But with this many Vikings, I think he should be fine.
Should be fine, although he is forced to land them to deal with this ground army. So, Kieran, you could think about going for a bit of a position. You know, going into the main, going for some production, forcing Flash to land these Vikings too.
Well, so we are going to see another counterattack. This time from Cure, going to go into the main base. Maybe try and drop these Vikings and look for some SCV damage of his own.
Look at this. The Hellions are coming back to deal with this. There's only one tank on the map. It looks like it was down there at the front of the third base. At the same time, Pure trying to go up the ramp. That was not a good idea. Losing a lot there.
He almost had the shot on the concave, but just couldn't get it in time. And he's going to clean up in the main, only losing 4 SCVs after all of that. Not bad at all from Flash.
Yeah, really nice hold. And look at this, the Raven going to go down 2.
That makes everything so much easier for Flash as well to maintain the air control. The Viking count kind of got broken from Kuro, so he's going to have to remake that, and he is now. Flash can just keep making Vikings from this point, and he'll always have the advantage.
Yeah. Flash, he looks like he's going for another push out. Not sure if he really needs to. He still is pretty far ahead, and he needs to be careful with his engagements. TVT, a lot of mirror matchups actually, you know, when you're going same units against same units, it's very much about positioning and making sure that you can take good engagements, because even if Flash has the higher number, he still could lose the fight. He has to be very meticulous about how he does this.
He could take a great position behind the minerals as well with his tank, or even at the front, because it's going to be so hard for units to engage up this ramp. And look at that, he's already getting behind the mineral lines with some of these Hellions. Second tank sieging up now. This might actually force Kyo's hand to fight or retreat. Yeah. He's got to make a choice though, he can't just be taking hits.
Kyo's only got 1 tank out right now. He's desperately trying to get them out to defend this third base, but Flash has got such a great position. That third base is getting so low. Kyo is forced into a fight. He's losing a lot of SCVs, but it doesn't look like he's going to have enough.
No, he's simply getting pushed back, losing most of his army at this point. Flash with such a lead, 30 supply up. And this third base, it's gone.
Yeah,
it's going to be dead.
10 SCVs have gone down. You can see Flash getting further and further ahead in the supplies. And, oh boy, Kira just has trouble against Flash sometimes. I really have to say, Flash has played great today. He really did. Great game from Flash. Gets that first win here for KT. It's going to put them off to a great start.
Yeah, very well played from Flash. And I guess this is how he 2-0'd Kira in the Keswick Cup qualifiers as well. You know, very solid mech play. Great start for KT today. Next up, we will be going into Zest versus SOS as well.
Yeah. From one mirror matchup to another. Flash, we were talking about him turning that leaf. This is a great start here for round 3. Getting on his feet, he looked like he was in great form. Let's see what he can do in the future.
Let's see if he can keep it up. It's consistency, which has always been Flash's problem in StarCraft 2. And see if he's might have fixed it this time around. Map definitely helped for his salvo, you know, being a mech map and whatnot. Both players going into mech. Flash just looking a little bit more experienced in that kind of style as well.
Yeah. Kira, like you were saying before, even though he's doing great in Pro League, he's not able to pull it through against Flash. He's talking to his younger sibling, I guess you can call him Maru, but Maru, he definitely has that experience to tell Kira what he did wrong and what he did right.
Now it is up to Zest. See if he can maintain the momentum in this next match. So they're trying to figure out how to use this PC. And what do I do? What do I do?
How do I turn this
like,
monitor on?
Just use mine, bro. Just use mine. It's okay. So we jump into that in just a second. That's going to be on Barney Research Station.
Yeah. It's going to be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, we'll have more time to talk about that in a sec. We savor this victory.
You're looking pretty disappointed.